Joan Reeder.
Hello there. Take a deep breath. Really good to see as many people as we see here today on this momentous day here in our nation's capital. This is my third occasion to come here to DC to Lobby Day. Thank you. So I just want to, I have a board here that indicates there are 3 names on this board. My daughter Erin, who passed away in 2010. Another young woman from southeastern Wisconsin, Kira, who also passed away in 2010. And another woman, Alex, from Racine, Wisconsin, in 2006. Unbelievable that just in a very small area, in a short period of time, that we see, I mean, every time you turn around, you're hearing of some occasion of someone passing away, and it just has to stop. So, let me proceed here. In 2007, I was invited to be one of the first parents to speak to the Academy of Eating Disorders during their international conference in Baltimore. On that day, I implored the field to address the death rate for eating disorders. I'm sorry to say that my dear daughter Erin became part of that statistic on June 10th, 2010. Erin came to know many people through her 17 years of treatment for anorexia nervosa. Many of you know me from my role as her caregiver and years of activism. I want to speak of what we can be learned from Erin's tragic and preventable death. Lack of communication is what led to my daughter's death, not a lack of insurance coverage, caring treatment providers, or caring and engaged family. She had these things. Systemic and legal and ideological barriers to communication are the common thread that kept our daughter unwell and in the end failed her. These are all things we can address if we have the will. So I've got a number of items here that can make a big difference. One of them is information sharing. Our family faced a sharp learning curve at all points regarding insurance, medical issues, and legal options. That had been faced by those before us and will be again by others. This information must be collected and openly shared by the entire treatment team. Regular review of patients by their treatment team, whether inpatient or outpatient, needs to occur. Medical. Our family saw some of the best medical eating disorder professionals available and quickly recognized those that were not. We knew as well as any family could that the difference mattered. Medical professionals need to identify and disseminate common standards of practice procedures and establish universal standard of care practice guidelines. History. Our daughter's written files traveled with her through 9 specialized treatment centers and 2 other medical facilities, but communication between these teams often ended there. Despite promises to the contrary, one cannot expect a different outcome from a similar treatment plan. Listening to the patient. Erin was, like most eating disorder patients, a very convincing but inaccurate witness to her experience. Letting our daughter be in charge of information on behalf of and to we as parents put her eating disorder in charge and meant important information was not shared. Age and maturity. Eating disorders are known to cause developmental regression, yet our daughter was treated according to her chronological age, and our parental involvement and communication was considered less important as she grew older. The truth was, our family needed to support our daughter more, not less, as she grew older. Chronicity. Our family's needs for information and communication changed over time, but the modes and content of that communication remained relevant only to parents new to the diagnosis. Systems need to be in place to decrease the dropout rate in adult patients. Recommendations and treatment plans must be made to meet the patient's current medical needs and not insurance guidelines.
Amen.
Yes. Treatment must be completed to its full extent in order to eliminate decreased chronic illness. Legal barriers and openings to communication were often cited, but often either ignored or overinterpreted during our daughter's care. Even with medical guardianship, providers often insisted on treating our daughter as a legal adult in charge of her own care and information. The Department of Health and Human Services clarifies the sharing of patient information in the HIPAA document dated February 20th, 2014, very recent. I would suggest reading and making a copy of it for yourselves. My husband Bill and son Justin and I remain grateful to those professionals who had remained in Erin's life with great caring and compassion over the years. Many had noted that Erin wiggled her way into their hearts. I hope Erin remains in all our hearts as we face this difficult task of coping and responding to the loss of so many others just like her. We are Erin's family, friends, treatment providers, and society changed by her death. If we remain unchanged, then we fail her and ourselves. I plan to be a part of that change and invite others to join me. We must advocate for the passage of the FREED Act, the federal response for the elimination of eating disorders. It is the first comprehensive piece of legislation that will address the issues mentioned earlier, including increased dollars for research. It is time our federal government steps in to address the mental, biological illness with the highest death rate. I am pleased to say that there are competent researchers that work painstakingly to discover new methods of treatment. We must give them the tools to discovering the neurobiological pathway that propels eating disorders. Erin's brother, Justin, is one of these researchers, a career choice that he made after experiencing the pain and eventual death of his sister. Let's tell our legislators to endorse the FREED Act and give those affected with eating disorders a chance at life. It's time. Now, I'd like to read a poem also by Tawny Miller of Springfield, Illinois, about her daughter, Kimberly. And Tawny explained, Kimberly's battle started a little over 7 years ago. She almost lost her life a couple of times. We felt that she would die before she would be considered sick enough to get the help she desperately needed. Then God sent us angels in the form of the staff of Linden Oaks at Edward and our Arabella House. Kimberly was there 3 times, and those times were truly what saved her life. The journey was long and hard, but Kimberly persisted, and we finally got her back earlier this year. She is happy and healthy and knows how to battle her demons. We are very lucky. The story often doesn't end like ours. So here is Tawny's poem, and it's called The Spark. The tiny baby full of life, mother's eyes so full and bright. Little girl with great big dreams, mother watching lovingly. Time does pass, the baby grows. Darkness creeps, though no one knows. Young child scared and lost alone. Mother wonders why it's so. Why must her child feel so lost? Why must she feel such helplessness? Deeper, deeper darkness goes. Surrounds the child all alone. The happy, bright, and laughing child has vanished beneath the monster wild. The mother's cries and screams are loud. Her child is lost behind the shroud of blackness, hate, and such despair. Is there even life out there? The mother stands and takes a breath, pushing back the helplessness. No one will take her child away. She will fight and stand and pray. Her child is somewhere in this dark. The mother won't quit. She'll find the spark that is your child's soul, buried in the dark and cold. Find the spark and fan the flames. Beat the monster at its games. The journey starts. Rough is the road, but no longer is her child alone. Thank you.